I've been southbound, I've been hellbound, riding on the midnight train. Going too fast now, think I'll slow down, standing in the pouring rain.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Zero Duck 30 podcast. Today, we're just talking some teal because, as you guys know, we're about 6 weeks out, at least in the southern states, and we're pumped, man. And we just wanted to get on here. We haven't done a podcast, just me and Tony, in a long time. We want to give you guys some updates of what's going on in the Zero Duck 30 world, and then, shoot the breeze on some teal, you know?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, guys, so what's going on at Zero Duck 30? So we've been spending a lot of time, and honestly, it's been months in the making. We've been waiting for Richardson to come out with some new colorways, for their stuff to get back in stock. Just so you guys know, if you want to try to get Bottomlands Richardson hats, you'll be lucky by November. But anyway, long story short, we end up getting, we got some gray hats with white rope, trucker style. We got some camouflage hats that are patched that you see here.
These bad boys. It's a company called Live Hooked. The company that
Live Hooked.
Live Hooked.
Oh, Live Hooked. Okay.
Yeah, you can find them on Instagram and stuff. They're pretty active. But
yeah, we got those. We got some timber hats with some patches coming out, and then we have this new colorway by Richardson. It's called chocolate chip birch, and it's kind of basically a brown and a tan. But we got a whole new logo coming up on that with saying "Hell of a Life," and as you guys know, we've taken on that saying because it's real applicable to the movie Yellowstone. If you guys seen that piece,
TV show.
Yeah, if you've seen that piece, you know, he's like, Grandpa, why do we do it? Because it's one hell of a life. And we both just agreed immediately that it really applies to duck hunting because we're just out there killing ourselves as public land and private land duck hunters. And doing this for a 60-day sport is why do we do it? Yeah, it's just because we're chasing those great days. So anyway, we got that going on. We got brand new shirts. Tristan, you want to turn them around and show one real quick?
Well, I don't know if y'all can see, but here's the back of it that says one hell of a life and the logo, and then the front just says Zero Duck 30 on it.
Yep,
he's got one on too.
Yep. So we just got these in, and you know, Drew, our buddy, you guys have seen him on episodes. You know, He's definitely one of our members here, and we all just kind of locked arms and said, hey, you know what? We're real people that we don't make a lot of money, and we took our personal finances and made some commitments. You know, we invested in this podcast equipment, and, you know, it just we have to do it piece by piece.
Yeah.
But we're excited to bring that stuff out to you guys. What else, Tristan? What else we got going on?
You know, talking about all the merch and stuff, we've been this has been probably a year in the works, just like Tony was saying, with so many places being back ordered and kind of being limited on what you can do financially and stuff. But man, we're excited. We got a new website coming on, that'll be live. We're hoping by the end of August, like around that September 1st time is the time we're, you know, trying to launch everything. And
it's going to be depending on when we get the hats back. Honestly, that's the last piece.
Exactly. So we're thinking about, you know, around that end of August, September 1st date, but we're going to have the 4 new hats on there. We're going to have the Zero Duck t-shirt and then also the Zero Buck 30 t-shirt, which if you guys don't know, we also have Zero Buck 30 on all social medias, and it's a part of our YouTube and stuff. And if you guys have been following us, you know, me and Tony are big bow hunters and kind of came up hunting in that kind of space. So that's kind of the updates as far as the merch, but we're pumped to get that stuff to you guys.
We're also going to I got pricing on the truck decals.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. You can actually, and if you want a boat decal too, you guys let us know in the comments, because if I hear one person tell me they want a boat decal, which if you just watch our videos, you'll see how they look on my boat. Let me know and I'll get pricing for you. And they're doing me pretty good. And, you know, we don't mark up our stuff that much. I mean, yeah, we want to make a return on our investments, you know, but we're not out there. You know, the stuff that we are providing you guys, I will say, is I would call level A quality stuff. I mean, these hats that are made by Live Hooked I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, part of the process is that we wanted to get these hats in and say, hey, what can we sell these for? What's fair? Same thing with the shirt material. You know, we had samples come in.
And really the only thing with the merch and stuff, guys, is it's been such a demand thing with, you know, you guys that are, you know, following along with us and stuff, that people are like, hey, can we get those hats and stuff? And we've been like, shit, we haven't been able to get anything for a while. And, we're really, it's not like you said, you know, it's not like we're making that much money off these. It's more of because it's one thing if you can buy in big bulk like these big companies, but we really can't. So really the whole thing is just getting, you know, the Zero Duck 30 name and lifestyle and all that stuff out there. So we're just getting these products done to really just get our name out there and pretty much break even on. So.
Yeah, I mean, but it's really been just by demand. I mean, you know, it's been a little humbling to me that, you know, we get so many people asking us, you know, for hats and shirts and stuff like that, you know, and so we really appreciate you. And, but yeah, we're excited about that stuff. And so we'll have it up as soon as we get those hats in. We'll do a photo shoot. And then, we'll launch that sucker.
And on top of that, something else we're super excited we're working on, and this is probably targeting about that same time frame, is an Arkansas public land video that we did with Salty Shots and some of our buddies out there. You know, we filmed this episode out there, and it wasn't the greatest hunt in the world. You know, there was a lot of work that went into it. You public land guys know what it's like, especially out in that Arkansas timber. And you know, me and Tony were sitting there probably around June, and we're like, man, this stuff is so good, and it paints a good picture of the intensity of public land. To be honest, we only killed 3 ducks that day, but you know, to paint the picture to guys about what it's really like about public land, I think it's important, and I think it's still going to be an entertaining and interesting video. So we're really excited for that to come out, and like I said, probably around that September 1st.
If you have been at the boat launch any day in the Arkansas timber, you're going to love it. You're going to love it because most of us come out of those with the hunt that we had then. I mean, we've done tons of them. We didn't get a single bird. So, but you will be able to, I think it really, Tristan and I actually even recorded some parts in there to help even better tell the story. Because, you know, we were talking about, you know, whether it's Foul Life TV on the television, or, you know, it's you know, Ramsey, it's a Meat Eater, you know, it's Duck Lore, it's Dr. Duck. It's
you
all
name the show.
You name the show. I mean, there's so many good ones, and sorry if I left you out because I watch a ton of them. But you know, what the hardest part for all of us to do is to show the true reality. And it just goes along with that saying about you never know how beautiful the mountains are. A picture just doesn't do it justice unless you've been there. You know, and same thing with duck hunting, you know, and what we do. And unless you got a camera, several camera people, and you're recording 24/7, you're not going to capture everything. And so we're taking it up a notch with our style of videos to add those quick pieces in there to help tell the story better. So we're excited about that coming out.
For sure. And really another thing on the video side that we're pumped about, and you know, we're been working with Salty Shots photography, Dalton, and Dalton's going to come on the podcast soon, actually, in the next couple of weeks. But what?
I got 2 of them going, dude.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? But they have a little bit of ice in them. They're kind of good.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah.
Well, frozen lattes.
Yeah. And if you guys haven't seen this, we have no endorsement at all from Bush.
But we wouldn't be mad if they did.
No. No, hey, you betcha.
Yeah.
But if you guys haven't had one of these beautiful drinks, I don't know. It tastes different than that. And
especially on a Sunday after some hard work.
Yeah. I mean, we just don't get them down here in the South. You know, I took Tristan to Illinois a couple years ago, and we ordered a Bush Light, and they came as a bottle of long neck, and he was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway.
But yeah, you know, we're going to be doing some filming on some teal hunts and in the South here somewhere with Salty Shots, and we're pumped, man, because here's the thing. Like, if you guys have seen our Teal Heaven video, at the time, that was the biggest deal to us. And it still is a very big deal because it was like the coolest thing that we have put out to that point. But even Dalton with Salty Shots agreed. We were talking like from I do the editing, Dalton does the filming, and like looking back on it, there's just stuff that we all agree that like, man, we should have captured that. I should have edited that in. It was just both ways that we feel like we can all improve, and you just grow over a year. So, man, we're excited to run it back this year, and we're just praying that we can run into some birds. And, even if we don't shoot the crap out of them, I know it's going to be a good content reality.
It's going to be a reality public land hunt, man.
It's going to be good.
It's just, it is, because we're going to show you guys everything. I mean, I want Dalton recording Hunter snoring his ass off.
Yeah.
I mean, I want it all. So anyway, but yeah, we're super excited about that. And the thing that's so cool, and I respect a lot about Dalton, and I know he respects about us, is we kind of just talked it out and said, look, in so many ways, what we said is don't be afraid to be criticized, and if Dalton sees us do something that he doesn't like last year, he called me out, and I respect this because from an age perspective, right? It'd be like you trying to call me out in front of a bunch of people, which sometimes you don't do, but here's what I was doing. Every time I talked to you guys, I was going like this
with your hands, the hand motions for people listening.
Yeah, it was just the hand motions, it was, and Dalton he just said, Tony, stop doing that. And I was like, oops, sorry. But we respect each other enough to criticize each other for the better of what we're all trying to do. Super excited about that. What else you got going on? Our partners at Huntwise are offering an exclusive discount for Zero Duck 30 followers. As an elite member, some of the features you'll immediately gain access to are Huntcast, Windcast, peak kill times, property lines, owner information and phone lookup, 250 map layers, unlimited offline maps, 3D maps, social media, and on top of it all, save up to 50% off some of the top hunting brands in the industry. Download and explore the #1 hunting tool set today and save 20% by using code DUCK30.
And just to wrap that up, man, we're excited to get him on the podcast so y'all can hear some backstory. Well, I told him he's coming on, but just to hear some of the backstory of, and maybe some of his perspective and funny stories about us. I know he, off the top of my head, we locked him out of a hotel room, so I'm sure he's got some funny stuff to say about that.
Hey, do we want to have him come on? When that morning I was just trying to survive on like no sleep, and I said, Dalton, you're riding with me to the boat ramp. Is actually when we made that movie or that episode.
Arkansas video.
Yeah, it's coming out. And you guys, I was puffing 100 cigarettes an hour, dude. I was on, I'm not going to lie, I was on 5 hours for days. So many cups of coffee, dude. I mean, and Dalton's sitting there trying to just breathe. And he was also trying to be respectful and not say anything to me, but the word got out, and he's like, man, your dad almost freaking killed me in that truck. And dude, he's like, puff, 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 puff. But you know what? It actually, it was kind of a good thing because, now I'm a little bit more aware when people are in the vehicle with me. So anyway, and I would tell Dalton, hey, make sure you get some shots of me not smoking. And he goes, well, you got to quit smoking for me to get shots of you not smoking.
Yeah.
No, but good stuff.
Yeah, man. But really, we wanted to fill you guys in on some of the updates we got going on. Obviously, since the last time Tony and I have been on the podcast, we have been mind blown. Last time me and Tony were just by ourselves on the podcast, which I think was episode 2 or 3. We're on 19 now.
Yeah.
And the guests that we have had on this podcast, man, we are so freaking humbled. We don't even really know what to say. Like, we feel these are guys that we really look up to, that have, guys and gals that have been on the podcast, that just them being on has been a huge honor to us and has helped us so much. And I mean,
hey, you couldn't have said it better, man. I mean, everybody does something and you hope to make money from it, but I think that if you follow your passion and you don't put a dollar sign in front of it, the dollar sign chases your passion.
Right.
Because you're just going out there and just trying to do things right, and however
It's like
it
that
is.
saying, like, chase the dream, not the money.
Yeah.
And you chase the dream, and then eventually it'll, work out for you. And that's kind of where we are, man. This is the dream,
Yeah, well, it's just like my wife has said. She's been with me for years. She hates hunting. I mean, not that she hates it. She supports what we do and why we do it, because she respects us because we eat our food and, eat what we kill and all that kind of stuff. And she knows the good message that we're out to put, and she loves that part of it. She doesn't get it. She goes, "Your peace place is where?" And I say, "The woods." And she goes, "Mine is my pillow."
Yeah.
So, but it's been a little bit humbling just because we started this really, we said, you know what, if this could help support us, what we really put into this, that would be a bonus.
For sure.
And so now we're just starting to really see what maybe we can do.
And that's a great point that you said that. And I know it was one of the things we were talking before this we were going to bring up is, we're a company that we don't just like partner with people for the sake of partnering with people. With Frog Togs, for example, which I know we wanted to get into, when me and Tony first started duck hunting and stuff, and you look at durable products that are, reasonably priced and that kind of thing. Budget friendly and stuff. And Frog Togs is a good product for that kind of thing. And, the first several years we duck hunted, that's what you and I were in. I still got a pair of waders I've had for like 4 years. They're like those ones, but man, it was such a big deal for me to get those on my birthday that, and we're not talking and nothing against Sitka or anything like that, but it's not easy for somebody to go out and spend $350, $400, let alone $1,000 on a pair of waders to the average family. So when I got my first pair of Frog Togs waders, I was pumped.
Yeah.
It was a big deal. And like I said, thankfully they've lasted that long, but we have been working with Frog Togs for a solid, year and a half now. And Tony, why don't you kind of fill people in on some of the exciting stuff we got going with Frog Togs, and truly from like a perspective of being a customer first to now having a working relationship with them. That's exciting.
Well, I want to emphasize the point that, nothing is more frustrating than the we're all buyers, right? Mm-hmm. And you go to buy a product, and let's say, I'm going to just use a real life example. I just want to go down this road real quick. I wanted to buy a badass air rifle. Mm-hmm. I wanted a 22 caliber air rifle, and I wanted to be able to smoke some shit with that thing, right? I go online, and after about a week, actually Drew and I at the same time were doing it because we both decided how badass would it be to go squirrel hunt with that shit.
Yeah.
Or we've all hunted different places in the United States where you're like, bro, I could take out probably 78 squirrels in a 2-hour period today.
Yeah.
And then there's sometimes when you go out to squirrel hunt and then same place, then you don't see one. But,
exactly.
But anyway, we're running to buy a good air rifle, right? I got so pissed off after about 7 or 8 days of research of how often I was looking up YouTube videos, blah, 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 blah. And they're all because people were monetize they were getting money to put that product up there. Because what I would do is I compare different reviews from different sites.
Right.
I would go into the message boards for us old guys.
So it wasn't just the taking it for gold as the one YouTube video.
Right.
You were looking into other stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if I look on Amazon about something, I will not consider a review that doesn't say verified purchase.
Yeah.
And I look at good ones and I look at bad ones.
Yeah.
Whatever. But so anyway, we have always been that way with products and stuff that we just want to use first. And the first time that I heard about Frog Togs, a fisherman buddy of mine said, "Oh, bro, have you ever used one of the rain jackets?" And I was like, "No." And so I went down to Bass Pro Academy, wherever I went, and I bought a rain jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And it started pouring down rain while I was deer hunting. I threw that thing on, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Because I grew up like my mom would put like a garbage bag underneath my camo, that was our first ones. And then you had rain ponchos, which were very noisy. Pop, 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 pop. The rain's hitting it, And then I get this Frog Talk stuff, and it's breathable, but I'm bone dry.
Yeah.
And so loved it. So whenever I got into hunting, I did just like all of y'all have done. I went down to wherever I went, got me some waders, and sweat my ass off. They were the neoprene waders, and went through all that BS, and who comes out with breathable waders? A couple companies did. I first noticed Frog Talks.
Yep.
I said, done. I just...
And it's important because at the time, being in Florida when we started Zero Duck 30, Florida is such a fishing heavy state. So really to hear you say that kind of really makes sense to why Frog Talks is in the front of your brain.
Yeah.
Because all of our fishing buddies, obviously Frog Talks has had a foothold in fishing for a long time.
Yeah.
So actually I think they were, it says right there since 1996. So the year I was born, Frog Talks has been around. So.
Yeah. So, I got into their waders and just absolutely loved them, man. I bought the 2.0s when they first came out. I think I went 3 or 4 seasons with them. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about not 3 or 4 seasons of guys that are out there hunting from Teal on, mm-hmm. abusing waders, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, we go to so many different states. You get timber, whatever. And they held up, man. And so, last year we started a relationship with them, and they were trying to get into the hunting presence stronger, mm-hmm. and making a focus on it. And we connected with them real late in the season.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that everybody out there was having supply chain issues. Mm-hmm. It's no secret.
Yeah.
And they were going through the same thing, and they were kind of like, man, we know you guys are going to be out there in the swamps and the fields and everything else, but we're doing our best. And it wasn't the level that we wanted it to go to for us or them.
Yeah.
And just due to supply chain stuff. So this year we got together in the off season, and we're so excited to announce that we're taking it up a notch.
Yeah.
They have agreed with us. We're going to be basically pro staff with Frog Talks, and we're going to work together to be as professional as we can for each other. Mm-hmm. And we're out there just believing in what they got, and we're going to run it through the mud.
Oh yeah.
And they know we are.
Yeah.
And y'all, we're going to let you know what we think about it, and but they hadn't proven us wrong yet. And I'm excited to go out and use some of these new products and show you guys whether or not you should make the investment, because my bet is I'd be all in.
Yeah, and the thing is like you said, we're excited to show you guys. We hunt so many different environments because, being based out of North Georgia, it's no secret that this is not the waterfowl mecca of the United States. So, we are on the road just about every weekend during duck season, whether it be Florida, whether it be Arkansas, or some of these other states that we got targeted for this year potentially. We're going in different environments. We might be hunting Florida that's 4 foot deep, full of hydrillas and cattails and whatever in a reservoir, or we might be hunting a duck pit in Arkansas or flooded timber and mm-hmm. run into a hole.
Yep.
On public land. So we go through so many different environments, and I think that's what's going to be really neat to show you guys how these products hold up in so many different environments versus just hanging around one little spot the whole season.
Yep, for sure. So we're going to be able to show you guys basically from top to bottom, from the duck camp to the blind, mm-hmm. what Frog Talks is out there to give us waterfowl hunters.
Absolutely.
So we're excited about that. Other thing that I'm super excited about is, our buddy Cade mm-hmm. over at Delta Thunder is booking up fast. And I'm telling you guys, we cannot guarantee ducks. And Cade Matter of fact, if it was so bad, he would call you and say, "Don't come."
Yeah, he's told us not to come.
Yeah, he's told us come. Yeah,
Not to come, yeah.
Yeah, just like he always laughs about that snow goose hunt. You know,
Yeah.
he's, I told you not to come. And I said, well, I came anyway, didn't I?
I didn't have anything else better to do.
That's right. I thought, worst case scenario, I'm going to go do what we do most of the time and just have fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I knew if I'm sitting in the field with Cade,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be laughing my butt off, you know, or with Grinder or whatever, one of his guides. So anyway, you guys, there's no monetized relationship between us and Delta Thunder. Zero.
Yep.
0. I want to be truthful about that. There's nothing, and Cade tell you same way. We're just buddies
Mm-hmm.
helping each other out. That's all.
Yep.
You know, I mean, Cade's nice enough to wear our hat in the video, or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we're there to tell you guys about the crappy hunts we've had there, and we're there to tell you about the great hunts we've had there. You know, it's just, it's duck hunting. It's not your Stan, what's his name? The Mallard's Lodge.
Yeah. It's Mallard's something large.
Yeah. Well, but everybody knows all these
Honey
big,
Break and
Honey
all these
Breaks.
other big
Absolutely.
places. Yeah.
And kudos to those guys, you know, whatever.
But, you know, on the flip side, they're also charging $1,400.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that, because you're getting a first-class experience, probably once in a lifetime for most people, including us.
Yep.
You know, but that's also not Cade's game.
Yep.
You know, it's just more towards the average guy wanting to get out there and go duck hunt in Arkansas.
Absolutely, man. So y'all check out Delta Thunder Outfitters. Give Cade a try. He's just going to be straight up with you and honest, and at a fair price.
Yeah, and you know, on the teal side of things too, he has teal hunts, he has snow goose, he has regular season. So it's not just regular season ducks. You know, he does other stuff too. That conservation snow goose season that's been such a popular thing in Arkansas these last few years, because man, you set those e-collars, and you know, you've done it. I haven't had the opportunity to do it yet, but you know, setting out e-collars and stuff, and you know, I guess if you get a good juvie feed of snow geese, I guess they're just going to kind of melt in there.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what, but, without getting way off topic, but my funnest time snow goose hunting this year was we had this juvie land out in the spread, probably 40, 50 yards. And our buddy Warren was hunting with us, and he goes, I think Warren just set up and goes, who's going for it? and I go, yeah, all you, bro, go. You know, he got up, and I mean, dude, track that sucker down. Boom! We were like, yeah.
That's hilarious.
That was like my favorite thing to watch out of all the snow goose hunts that I did, dude. When I was there, we didn't really get in. Cade did get into them. Those guys.
Yeah, you left on a Sunday, and on Monday they shot 80.
yeah. Or I think it was like 191 or something they shot. Like
between different groups.
Yeah. But just, you know, that's the way it goes. But y'all check him out, and like I said, reasonable price. He's going to do a great job for you, and you know, Ramsey talks about the experience.
Yeah,
every duck hunter has you know, that he said, I'll sell hunts. I sell an experience. So what do you want out of your experience?
Right.
I would say this, for sure, you will have fun. And
one other little note to add, and I may be a little bit off on these numbers, but Cade has a lodge that I think sleeps 10 or 11. 10. And so it sleeps 10 comfortably, but if you want to throw some guys on the floor or whatever, that's fine.
Yep.
But he basically says if you book a hunt with him and you have 10 or more people that book a hunt, I believe this is the Cade. Don't get mad at me if this isn't exactly right, but I believe if you have more than 10 people in your group and book a hunt, you get your lodging free. If not, I believe it's $50 a night per person for lodging if you're less than 10 people. So just to keep in mind, if you've got a big group of guys and you're wanting to go out there and snow goose hunt or duck hunt or whatever, get over that 10 or more limit and you'll be good to go on that stuff. And Kate will tell you it's not like, you know, it's not 5-star resort, but it's, you know, as hunters and normal guys, we don't need much. We're used to sleeping in trucks. So yep. a warm bed and some warm coffee and a shower is about good as we can
clean
get.
linens. I mean,
yeah.
As waterfowlers, we experience all kinds of extreme weather conditions. Stay bone dry and warm with Frog Togs hunting gear. You can check them out at frogtogs.com or at Frog Togs Hunt on Instagram. This is great. I love that we're talking about this. So, what are you really going to see when you go there? So, number one, you're going to get to meet Mr. Glenn.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Glenn, we love you. You know it. He's like a pawpaw to me, really, and great veteran. And he helps out with the place next door, and we've got that lodge, and in the bathroom. And I correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Glenn, but I think it was his aunt or something. But anyway, it's one of those tubs that, you can walk into that thing and shut that door. And I think it even had some neon lights on it, but you could even take a little hot tub in there. But he's got bunks in there, and it's just, what do you do at duck camp, man? I mean, you stay up and you have beverages and you eat food and you have all these good times with your friends. He has that great big tractor rim that we have a big fire in and out back, and we'll make you help split wood, and but it's just a good old. I would call it a good old boy hunt.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Is what I would call it. I wouldn't do it any other way.
No, I wouldn't either. So it's teal season here in Georgia, guys. Before too long, so
boom,
we're ready to rock here before too long, and we're excited, man. We told you guys some of the filming stuff, and we've said excited about 27 times, but we just want to go into some of the stuff, the basics for the basic hunter, or not the basic hunter, but the hunter that is hunting teal for the first time, or this is the first waterfowl experience you're ever going to have, and you're getting out there because you heard teal, or they decoy well and they respond well to calling, and your buddy said you should get out and try to hunt some teal, go do some scouting. So Tony, why don't you kind of go into step one? You want to go teal hunting for the first time, just from the ground up, and we're going to go through everything. So.
All right. So I'm not going to talk about teal without first telling you how freaking fun it is to hunt teal.
Yeah.
Bro, listen, I know there's all you greenhead purists out there. I know you are. But, man, to me, there's not a funner bird on the planet to hunt than those wind-ripping teal. Dude, those things, when they buzz the tower on you, maybe some ringers. Yeah. Ringers do the same thing. They fly a lot of the same way. Mm-hmm. If you guys and gals have not went out and hunted some BWTs, you got to do it. It's fun. I mean, it's like when people tell you got to go turkey hunting, dude.
Yeah.
You got to go dove hunting. Bro, you got to go teal hunting. I mean, you got to.
Yeah, if you love waterfowl and you haven't experienced that and you're a big fall duck hunter, I mean, it's a great opportunity to go out there and knock the rust off.
Yeah.
It really is.
For sure. It is, man. And, it's just that they're not the smartest bird in the world. They haven't been shot at. And so it's just a great opportunity, and if you're down in Florida, by the way, or out of state and you want to go to Florida and get on some early wood ducks, you can do that. Yeah. Check out their regulations. I think there's a full week you can shoot both.
Yeah.
So check that out. But anyway, so Tristan said, what's step one?
Yeah.
Step one is, what do I need? What do I need to go do this? Mm-hmm. So the very first thing I would suggest to somebody is, where are you going to go? You got to first go figure that out. Okay. You might not know the exact area, but get in with people, do your own research for your WMAs, your public land, or if you can ask permission on private land, whatever. But you're looking for somewhere that's got 6 inches or less water. Coastal waterways are great if you're out there on the East Coast. If you're in the Mississippi Flyway, you're going to be looking for low water areas, fields, things like that. But, you got to figure out where you're going to go. And the reason why I say that's so important is because that's going to tell you what you need to bring.
Right.
All right. So, like, number one, if you're going to go hunting a coastal waterway and you're 6 inches or less of water, how are you going to get there? Are you going to walk there? Are you going to need a boat to get there? Once you get there, can your boat get you all the way to where you need to be?
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to bring a canoe?
Do you need to worry about the tide?
Do you need to worry about the tide going in and out?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going on the Mississippi River and you're going to get off of somewhere, how are you going to get there? You might be able to drive and walk in. Look at all your options. There's a lot of great walk-in spots on WMAs, for teal. So you might be able to just walk it in. And you know what, guys and gals? If you're looking at it and go, oh my God, it's a 3-mile walk and it's a 4-mile boat ride, bro, walk that sucker in and you're going to be smoking teal because nobody's going to go do it. So that's the other thing I'm going to tell you is look for those spots that nobody else has got the energy to go to.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So once you know that, then you got to say, what do I need? So your vehicle, your transportation, figure that out. Figure out how you're going to get there. It might be a combination of walking and boat or canoe or whatever it might be. But you're going to need some waders of some kind. Or hip waders. It just depends how deep you are.
Probably something breathable versus neoprene because it's going to be hot.
Stay away from the neoprene.
Yeah.
I mean, some kind of waders, and honestly, if you got some brown ones or something like that, some hip waders because you're a fisherman or whatever, they'll probably work out just fine. Ducks don't see your legs. Do you want coffee that doesn't suck? Get the Duck. Dirty Duck coffee is made specifically for the waterfowl enthusiast. Enjoy flavors like Morning Wood, Dark Dynasty, Cinnamon Teal Snickerdoodle, and First Flight to unlock the flavor that you'll enjoy in the blind for years to come. Our friends at Dirty Duck Coffee Company are now offering all Zero Duck 30 followers a 15% discount when you use code ZeroDuck15 on your next order. Then you're going to need whatever shotgun you're going to use. Some people shoot 12 gauge, some people shoot 20 gauge. Doesn't matter. You can shoot them both. But you're going with a higher number shot typically, any between a 5 and a 6 shot, whether you're shooting 20 gauge or shooting 12 gauge. So you're going to typically go with something like that. There's all kinds of brands out there. There's a lot of great brands. Just go check them out and then whatever you can afford, buy. You do not need a teal whistle. Bro, if I see another person post a TikTok video getting excited about early teal, I'm going to knock them out. Now, unless their early teal is up north where green-winged teal are taking off, you don't need a whistle, all right? You need a teal hen call. There's several nice budget ones. This one, we got the Duck Commander here. It's really our favorite. But Buck Gardner's got a good one. There's a bunch of people that got them. So you're going to need you a teal call. Most definitely, I would tell you what to buy decoy. I would tell you to buy a spinning. Go out and get me a teal mojo, just like that one right there.
Mm-hmm.
I would instantly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if you need any decoys, honestly, if you got one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I almost want to try that out sometime.
Yeah, we were talking about the other day, like, when we were preparing for this podcast, like, if you had $60 and to spend on decoys and you're going out there to hunt, would it be better to get a 6-pack of teal or would it be better to buy one mojo? And, honestly, that motion is such a huge thing for teal. To get their attention, like you have to have motion. If you don't have motion, you're not going to shoot them. I mean, unless you're just on the X and they're coming there anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right. I think the motion is the biggest thing. Yeah.
Yep. You got to have motion. If you said I had $120, I would say get you one. You don't even need. This is the what do you call the
Elite series,
Elite series
or something like that.
It's an Elite series, and the reason why we went with it is because we can do the programmable remote.
Yeah, you turn it off and on, and I think it's got I think the other one, they make a teal series too that's got the foldable back, that's a green wing though. But I believe they make the blue wing as well, and the same kind of thing. You guys have seen it.
It's down there.
That but for the people listening, the back opens and they're not as water resistant or waterproof. I don't know that they advertise waterproof. They may, I don't know, but
there's more budget friendly.
Yeah, they're more budget friendly, but we just went with something that's a little bit more durable and, like you said, can be programmed with the on and off and all that good stuff. So
yeah, so I would say get you one of those Mojos, and get you a 6-pack of Blue Wing Teal. Look for early season, or you want to look for them to show that they're in eclipse plumage. What do we mean by eclipse plumage? Eclipse plumage means they're not in their full plume. All right, so like their mating season plumage. So if you look here, you'll see, Tristan, scoot back a little bit. The teal that are over here and the teal that are here, these are all blue wing teal. So you can either just get hens or get the eclipse plumage ones, which is basically just all hens. But get you a 6-pack of those. Mm-hmm. As far as your anchor and weights, you probably don't need anything that's super heavy, but for somebody just getting into it, no doubt, have a Mojo. Have 6 of those.
Yeah, and let's talk about, you were just talking about the water depth a little bit with something you said. And, man, the thing is like we've hunted teal from 2 inches of water to we've shot them in 2 or 3 foot of water, depending on, different areas. But obviously the ideal thing for teal is they want that like 6 inches of water. That's when you're going to kill them best. And one thing we have found in our area versus like Arkansas, for example, is the diet of what these teal eat is so diverse, man. Teal in Arkansas are primarily eating rice. There's a lot of rice fields, and they're eating invertebrates out there and stuff. But the thing that's so amazing about the area we hunt in is teal primarily eat invertebrates in our area. Mm-hmm. They're not as much vegetarian in our area because they're just not the sure, there's your sedges and different types of grasses that you find out scouting and things like
Widgeon
that. Widgeon grass and stuff like that. But, if you're hunting them in 2 foot of water, there's not a lot of vegetation that's growing. Maybe around not 2 foot, 2 inches of water, 2 or 3 inches.
And they'll dive too. They'll dive. We don't call them divers, but teal dive.
Yeah.
They'll dive down, and I've seen them do it several times. Yeah. Especially after I've shot them.
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah.
No, but that's a great point. It just shows the diversity. Like Sean Weaver was talking about, how there was a giant migration shift with the canvasbacks. I don't remember what the years were, but they left the Chesapeake Bay to go somewhere. Was it North or South Carolina? North Carolina. Something like that. Yeah. And changed their diet completely, just because they got overhunted. So teal are just they're. I think what I tell you the mortality rate the DU said was 60-something%?
55 or 65%.
I think it was 60-something%.
Yeah.
You go out there and you see a bunch of teal, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, holy cow, dude, 60% of these die off every year? Mm-hmm. And they come back and just smoke it like that? They're just a very tough bird. So,
but before we wrap up the scouting thing, one thing I wanted to get into is when to scout them, because when they move. So Tony, kind of talk about, as far as scouting goes, when do you want to get out and scout teal? And then also a real world example of kind of our teal timeline this season, like kind of walk people through our thought on how we're going to scout them based on our work schedules and stuff and how many hours away it is and all that.
Okay. So just one thing I wanted just to add to that last piece. Y'all, if you're a coastal blue-winged teal hunter this early season, be looking for that really shallow water and be looking for those crustaceans. Mm-hmm. Be looking for those larvae things like that. That's what they want to smoke, and they will, man. I mean, they just will. So anyway, I just wanted to add that thing to be looking for that specifically. So, what was the question you asked?
Oh yeah, no, as far as the scouting stuff,
Oh yeah.
yeah, talk about because the thing with Teal is they're here one day, gone the next. So talk about kind of our game plan with scouting this season with our PTO, like directly what we're actually going to be doing, and then also, how Teal are, Listen, folks, it's a known fact that having motion in your decoy spread is going to increase the likelihood of you having success. Over at Mojo Outdoors, they have a product for every type of environment you're going to hunt in. For example, if we're hunting Florida, we might use a blue-winged teal spinner and the coot rippler. If we're hunting in Arkansas, it's probably the king mallard or the spoonie. With that being said, check out Mojo Outdoors.
So to make it work, you got to scout. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. I mean, I guess you can go duck hunt without scouting, and it's just so drilled in me that I don't know another way to do it.
Yeah.
I know there's people that do it, and I know there's shot chasers and things like that. But go out there and scout. All right. Number one, take the bull by the horns and get out there, scout. First thing you're doing, we talked about earlier, you're going to go on your app. You're going to figure out what area you're going to be hunting, which you can be doing now. You don't need the birds there.
Right.
Go look for habitat.
Yep.
That's what you're looking for. Once you find that habitat, you're going to be looking how you're going to get there on opening day, knowing that there's no hidden places on public land. What's it worth to you?
Yeah.
So let me kind of walk you guys through what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be hunting down in the south, yet to be announced where, but we'll be in the south, and it's on public land. It can be a desert of marsh at times. We're going to be going down there the weekend before season. We're going down there, and we're going to spend from an hour before daylight to probably as dark as we can see. We will be out looking for teal all day long.
Yep.
I mean, and I'll tell you why it's going to be all day long this time, and not just of course, the core time is early in the morning, late in the evening. We would not have found the birds that we found last year if we had not been scanning at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't have, man. I mean, maybe we would have, but that's when we saw them.
Yeah.
So, and we went all morning long, even had a smaller boat that, we're going to take it up this waterway. No, we're not, because it's only 2.5 inches.
Yep.
We started up. So what a pain in the ass that was, have to drag that damn thing over there and leave it. I almost considered just leaving it until this year. It was a,
when we were doing that scouting, like you and earlier in that morning, you and Drew went and walked one way, and me and Hunter went and walked one way, and we both walked for an hour and a half these different ways, and through
desert marsh,
and it's hot, man. It's hot in September in the South, and that's still prime summertime really in the South, but we both walked for an hour and a half, and neither of us saw a damn teal. And I mean, it's just kind of a testament, not like bragging on us or anything, but it's a testament to any of you guys know that scout, the perseverance that it takes. And, we're trying to talk to people that are just getting out and doing this for the first time. Like, don't be discouraged right off the bat. I mean, it was easy if we didn't have the foresight of duck hunting previous past, it would have been easy to hang our hats on. Well, we didn't find them after an hour and a half of hard working, but we're like, well, screw this. Let's get in the boat and go somewhere else and try to find them there,
Yep. That's why and that's why when we ran into the guys that we ran into, that we had to hunt together.
Yes.
Because the first thing I told these guys before I even walked over to talk to them is I said, they did their homework just like we did.
The mutual
and we
respect,
do not own this land. Yeah, we were here first. Bullshit.
But to know that they were there.
they had to have done the work that we did.
Yeah.
And that was, man, I mean, I was like, golf clap, dude.
Was mutual respect.
Yeah, it sure was. It was awesome. So So here's the deal. We're going to be doing that the weekend before. We'll be down there just living, breathing, looking for teal, to the point where you start seeing shit. I mean, it really, you're like, you see a big thing of crows go flying over. You're like, bro, I just saw a bunch of teal. But, or you see one of those things that we always mistake, little killdeer or.
No, what are they called? Are you talking about the things they got a season for?
Yeah, the
birds.
Snipes, yeah. Those freak us out all the time too, but yeah, we're just going to be out there trying to find them, and there's a lot of anxiety that builds up to that because, we are putting all these things in place with Salty and all this stuff to make all this happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we do all this work. And what happens if we leave that weekend on Sunday and go, man, I don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah.
That's a reality. It really is. And if that's what happens, we're going to show you that too.
Exactly. And, the other thing too is we're taking off Friday. So we're going to scout the weekend before, obviously, and hopefully have a good game plan. But as a plan B, because teal can be, here one day, gone the next, we're going to go down Friday before we hunt. The season opens Saturday. And we're going to spend all day Friday scouting if necessary too.
Yep.
We're going to check our spots that, hopefully, in theory, had birds the weekend before. If they don't, we're going to be like, red alert, we got to find some damn birds.
You know what? Let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about, we've actually seen both sides of the spectrum.
We really have.
From scouting. And this is a great thing to show. Yeah. So I know you guys, your attention span's like this small, right? But check it out. If you want to see both of these perspectives, go and check out one of our teal videos, our very first ones. Go check out Teal Heaven. All right. So, one thing that's really crazy about 2019
something like that
season,
2020, 2019.
Yeah. So here's what's unique about that. We saw so many teal.
Yeah.
Like
Thousands.
I was actually wasn't I out there on like a Wednesday before and I told you guys, I was like, dude, I'm telling you, I've been seeing a lot of teal out here.
Nah, we went out together.
Oh yeah, me, you, and Mike.
Yeah, and we scouted, man, and we were seeing hundreds of teal, like maybe thousands.
You got a video of it looks like probably a group of 100 of them just
cruising.
Yeah, and we saw where they were going down. Dude, we had it all figured out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd never been so stoked for teal.
Yeah,
in my life.
I know, and that created so much like pessimism in us as duck hunters.
Counter drama.
Yeah, because we're just like, now we're like, even if we scout them good, we're like, shit, I don't know, we might not shoot them good.
So we saw that, and this was the day before
opening
day.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the week before, the day before.
Yeah.
All right. So we went in there, and dude, we got our spot, and we busted our ass to get it. We got our spot.
Yeah, we got there at like 1 a.m.
And you want to tell me how many teal we killed? None.
Yeah.
We didn't even raise our gun.
Nope.
And people all around us were smoking them. We could hear the shots going off, but we just didn't happen. And but we ended up figuring out, because it was just, you got to go through it, is that where we were at, it was an area where it was a numerous boats would travel, and we didn't know it because we're just out there hunting public land, and we made some adjustments and made some things work out that season. So anyway, getting back to just answering that question,
as far as like our plans for this season and stuff.
Yeah, so you gotta figure it out on the map where you're gonna be. You're gonna be scouting there the time before, the week before, the day before, if you can do it. Then you gotta really just say to yourself, what is it worth to you?
Mm-hmm.
What is it worth to you? Number one, make sure you guys don't go out and hunt by yourself. Always have somebody with you, for safety reasons. But what's it worth to you to, if you found the birds, what's it worth to you to be on the birds? And that's probably going to require you to go sleep in the area that you are, if you're on public land and the law allows it.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, I mean, we got with the scouting, the decoys, and you kind of painted a good picture on it as far as the expectations on when you need to get out there, because we're crazy as duck hunters, man. We'll get out there and sleep all night, shoot some ducks, even if there are teal, especially in the South, man. But I'm trying to think, what else would be beneficial from a gear
I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what else is beneficial. And you talked about it before. Have some kind of waterproof bag or something like that.
That's a good idea.
Have something like that. Make sure you bring plenty of liquids if you're out there hunting when it's hot. Public land too. Make sure you don't hunt over the required time that's allowed for the state that you're in, on the public land you're in. Some of them close down at 12. Some of them have select days, that kind of stuff. But let's get into more of what I'm going to set up and how I'm going to set up and how I'm going to make the teal come to me, because I'm Lord of the teal. All right. No, not me. I'm just saying that's how you want to feel in that position, right? Is you want to feel like at least you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're going to set up your decoys. If you got it 6, just throw them out there. Honestly, there's really no rhyme or reason behind them. Just throw them out there.
Yeah, there's people that will tell me about their teal hunting, and the thing is as duck hunters, especially fall duck hunters, is you want to play the wind, and you want to set up like a J or a V or a hole or whatever, some kind of situation to where you're playing the ducks, creating a situation to land. And the thing is with teal are so like malleable, if you want to call it that, or they're so I talk to guys that are just like, I get out of the boat, I throw my decoys out, set up a spinner, and then it works out. I don't give a shit about the wind, nothing else. And that's the interesting thing about teal, and we kind of take the perspective of like, well, we're gonna play it safe and still, set it up to like we're hunting, say we're hunting a field in the Midwest on a freaking north wind and 15 miles an hour. We're going to set it up to the wind and just do all those things. But being honest, those teal, they're going to see that motion. They're going to land however the hell they want to land.
Yeah. No, they're going to come in like a bunch of crackheads, and they are, dude. They're going to come in. They're going to go flying on you. They're going to swoop you. Don't freak out and feel like you have to take a passing shot. They're usually going to come and hit you a couple times before they land. And they're barn burners. That's just how they fly, and it's easy to just jump up and shoot. But if you got your call with you, and you're out there, and maybe you're not even seeing anything right now, what kind of call do you want to do? So I'll just kind of run through my teal call. I do 2 different cadences, and that's basically how you want to do it. It's a little bit different than a mallard greeting call.
Yeah, and it's truly in these calls, it's more of like you just blow into them, which is nice.
Yeah. So anyway. That's basically the different calls that I do for a teal. That's all you got to do. But you're hitting that. You typically, if they're coming in on you, you don't want to be just like, beep, 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 beep. You don't need to do all that. Just hit them with some tink, 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 is what I call it. And just some clucks, basically, is all you're doing to get them in. But do let them work. It might take them 1 or 2. After you hunt teal for a while, you'll be able to tell if they're flaring or if they're just buzzing, checking things out, wanting to make sure it's okay to land there. And a lot of times they're going so fast, bro, they can't stop. I mean, I've seen that where they're like, bah, bah, woo, bah, and they have to go all the way around just to hit stops.
Yep.
So,
yeah, guys, if you're going out and teal hunting, that's pretty much the basics of what you need to do. Like we said before, they're a bird that's easy to decoy. A lot of their population is young because of the mortality rate, and knowing young birds, they're just more likely to commit to not the best calling or not the best decoy spread or just any motion you got. So if you're looking to get out and hunt waterfowl for the first time, or maybe you've never hunted teal before but you're a big waterfowler, it's worth your time to go at least poke around, see if you can find some birds and have a good time. So, but I think that's pretty much everything we had as far as the specifics of teal. Do you have anything else you'd want to add to that, Tony? Or
No, I mean, just, keep it simple. It's really, just to recap everything again for you guys and gals is this. Just number one, go look for the habitat. Go look for the habitat. Start off with your favorite hunting app. We use Huntwise here because, I mean, again, we used it. That's how this relationship started. Use your Huntwise. Get on there. Check it out. Find an area. Get your butt out there and scout. See if it looks good. If it feels ducky and it looks ducky and you got that shallow water, chances are it's going to be a good area. Teal are going to come through, man. They're looking for that. So identify that first, then figure out what you need to get there.
yeah,
And then what do you need to hunt them? Of course, we talked about the guns, the shells, the decoys, have your spinner, all that. And then you just got to go do it. I mean, just go do it and be willing to outwork anybody.
yep,
Be willing to say, man, you know what? We are the only crazy sons that are going to walk 6 miles through this cypress swamp to get to that hole.
yeah,
Just be willing to do that. And as Tristan has said in the past, some of our success is because we've worked our asses off to put ourselves in a better position for success. You still need luck. But just get out there and do it, you guys. And if you have any other questions, feel free to shoot us a message, either one of us, and we'll be glad to help.
Heck yeah, guys. And thank you all for tuning in for another episode of the Zero Duck 30 podcast. As always, we just ask that you guys would subscribe and like and all that good stuff because that helps you guys out. I'm just being honest. It helps us out, and, it helps promote the algorithm and all that, IT stuff that none of us duck hunters really know about. But, but anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time.
Southbound, I've been hellbound, riding on the midnight train. Going too fast now, think I'll slow down, standing in the pouring rain.